Alright guys, welcome back. Survival Living here. So this is a alert I need to get out there to a lot of our viewers that are in the California area. As you guys probably are fully aware, Hurricane Hilary is fixing to knock the crap out of lower California. As a matter of fact, it looks like it's just going to go straight up through California. So guys, if you are not aware, we're talking about a Category 4 currently. As of 3 hours ago, 130-mile-an-hour winds reached Category 4 status, and looks like the first predicted landfall is going to be Baja California early Saturday morning. That is the latest information I've got for you guys. Now, for those that are in this affected area, and there should be some pop-ups and things of that nature for you to see this track. And down here in Florida, tracks change. Okay, my advice, if you are even close to this area, if you are on the west side of this track, my recommendation, go east. If you're in this track, my recommendation, go east. Don't play around with this. Now, I know there's a lot of people here in California on our channel, and everybody is prideful of their state. And I'm just telling you right now, it's been a while since y'all had a major hurricane. We get them a lot down here. I always recommend people to evacuate as much as possible. With that being stressed out, let's go ahead and talk about if you decide that you are going to stay. If you are deciding to stay, I am a prepping channel. I've been through multiple hurricanes. First thing you need to be doing is storing up water now. Reason being is because when the power is out, and yes, your power will be out for a very long time. If this hits at a Category 4, a lot of things are going to be tore up. It's going to be a while before you can get clean, drinkable water. Go right now. Leave this playing if you need to. Play it in the background. Take whatever containers you can and fill up from the tap. I don't care. Get water put back. You're going to need a lot of it. As preppers, we try to store up 5-gallon buckets as much as possible. If you just happen to have a water bob, something that sits in the tub you can fill up, hey, then by all means do so. I'm going to go and let you know that there are ways to get water. One, be in your toilet. Sounds disgusting, I know. I'm not talking about drinking out of the bowl. That's where you, there's a lot of bacteria in there if you don't clean up your bathroom very much. The back of the tank contains water, usually anywhere from 1.5 to 2 gallons of water. All right, that is drinkable, potable water. You can drink that. It is safe to drink. That has not gotten into the bowl itself as bacteria. You can retrieve water from a water heater if you drain it. I will caution you on that though. You better have a good water filter, because most water heaters produce a lot of rust in these tanks. Last thing you want to be doing is drinking a lot of rust. All right, rusty water. Okay. So please, right now, get water put back. Next up, food. If you've already been to the store, awesome. If you haven't, take a real quick look at what you've got stored up. Unfortunately, most Americans do not store a lot of food. They look at us preppers and believe that we're crazy. Now, unfortunately, there are a bunch of us that are crazy. All right, but a lot of us try to teach basic survival. We also try to teach you to prepare for natural disasters. This is the things that we will be hit with more often than the conspiracy. Natural disasters. You want something that's easy to cook. Most of your canned goods from the store are already pre-cooked. In case you were unaware of that, it's just cold. You can eat it cold. Most of these foods. All right, just so you know, it can be done. I would recommend you get a lot of food put back. If you have the opportunity to get propane camp stoves, please, you know, nice little 1-pound bottle, green bottle tanks, please, there should be some pop-ups here for you, give you some ideas. I recommend getting that. Now, do not boil water and do not cook food in an enclosed area that does not have any ventilation. You can gas yourself out. Carbon monoxide does kill. Now, during this storm, please do not be outside trying to film. Flying debris can kill you. You got to think, we're talking 130 miles an hour winds. When it picks up a heavy object, and it will, it's traveling. Last thing you want to do is get hit by something moving at that speed. So stay indoors, stay away from windows as much as possible. If you have a lot of windows in your home, I want you to hunker down in the furthest part of that home. All right, if you have a downstairs, please get to that downstairs. Even better if you have a basement. If you do not have that option, find a room without windows. Now, before the storm, get you some Scotch-Brite tape or duct tape, whatever you got to, and tape up those windows best as possible if you did not have time to board it up. It will help the glass from shattering on you when it shatters. Right now, I want you to go and make sure that you can pull money from the ATMs while they're still in operation before they're out. When everything happens and disaster has hit your area after this hurricane has moved through, your banks are not going to be open. What stores that do finally get a gasoline generator or something like that to power up, they're not going to be taking debit card. Those things will be down. Power lines, all that stuff will be down in your area. Transformers, all that. Cash on hand. Okay? This way, if you have to get supplies, you're going to be fighting the masses. There's going to be a lot of people out there. Please be very, very careful. All right? People that are in need can turn violent. So you need to protect yourself all times. Go ahead and get to the bank. Pull out money while you can. If you're staying there, you want cash on hand. Also, you want to make sure that your medications, if you are dependent on medications to stay alive, you need to make sure that stuff's there. Make sure it's ready, available for you, because you're not going to the pharmacy after this. Not for a very long time. Even if FEMA was to show up, it's going to be a while before they can get to you. There will be teams and things like that going into areas trying to help people, but it's going to be a lot of damage. So to think they're going to get to you first, don't wait for that. You need to get prepared now. Now, my recommendation, of course, evacuate now while you can. But I do know many, myself included, sometimes we can't afford to evacuate. We don't have no place to go. We can't afford to get a motel out of town. So we ride it out. Right now, you need to make sure you have water. That is one of the main things. It is still summertime and it gets hot in California. If you're watching this from California, you already know that. You're like, no shit, dumbass. All right? Get water put back. Get some lids on them. Even if you just have to take saran wrap and fill a pitcher full of water and saran wrap the top, that way no debris and stuff can get down in it. At least it's fresh. Okay? It's drinkable. You're going to need these things. If you have a gasoline generator, I hope you have fuel on hand. You need to protect that generator as much as possible. Okay, because when it fires up, people will hear it. Now, there are good people in society, but there's a lot of bad people in society, and they will steal that, and they will kill over a generator. Be careful with this. Do not fire up a gasoline generator inside your home. Carbon monoxide will kill you. Okay? You're going to have to run it outside your home. Hopefully you have some box fans and things of that nature so you can power these things up. Now, running a generator on half load. When I say half load, I mean it's not, you're not plugging everything in and trying to run a central air unit. It's only half the power usage is being used. That will make that gasoline generator last much longer per tank of fuel. All right? If you're trying to keep your refrigerator running during this time, my recommendation is to shut the refrigerator while you still have power. Shut the freezer. When your power is down, start utilizing that food first. Don't waste your gasoline, your diesel for your generator on trying to keep that refrigerator cold, unless you have medication that needs to stay cool. If you have insulin or other type of medication in there to sustain your life, then yes, by all means, that refrigerator needs to be your priority. It has to keep that medication cold. If it's just food in there, you're going to be reliant on that to begin with. It's going to go bad quick, especially in this summer heat. Main thing, airflow, canned goods, dry goods. If you are cooking indoors, and many will attempt this, don't use propane, don't use Coleman stoves, all that stuff indoors without ventilation. You can gas out yourself and your family. Take it outdoors. Cook outside. If you have to boil water, do so. Do it outside. Don't do it inside. Now when it comes to lighting, yeah, lighting is great. Flashlights, this is a very expensive flashlight. Even a dollar store flashlight is still light in an emergency. I don't recommend that's the only flashlight you got, but if that's the only thing you can get hold of right now, at least you have a way of turning lights on. Candles. Be extremely careful with candles. You do not want to burn down your home because you left candles lit, they fell over, or they caught something else on fire. If you have a candle lit in that home, make sure it is being watched. Don't leave it unattended. The last thing you want is a house fire after a hurricane, because no one's going to be there to respond. They'll be trying to clear out the streets. Alright guys, I want you, and when I say guys, I mean guys and gals, take this serious. You got a Cat 4 on you, and it's coming quick. If you got to hunker down. Find a room without windows. Try to get to a basement if possible. Don't be doing the hurricane parties. You're going to be riding out because you might not make it. Alright guys, to everybody else, I will speak to y'all later. For those in the path of Hurricane Hilary, please be safe. You are in our prayers. Just be ready for this. Speak to y'all later.